Erik here, this time with a review of the Famulator. Ugh, I probably shouldn't do that again. This time with a review of the Famulator, which is a Nintendo Famicom clone system. And the reason I picked this up was because I lost my Famicom to NES adapter, so I haven't been able to play my Famicom games for a long time. And I was actually able to pick this up for the same cost as a converter. This actually may have been a few dollars cheaper than what the converters go for now. And it's in a cool shiny box, which is cool. And it looks like an old school Famicom, just smaller. So let's take a look at it.
Alright, so the Famulator, let's open this up. But actually first, let's take a look at the box. I'm digging the box, it's shiny, which I like. And it's cyber, apparently. So all of the instructions and everything look like they're in Japanese, but really, I think we'll be okay. Let's open this up. Oh, looks like we got this. Oh, there we go. Alright, let's put the shiny out of the way. Alright, looks like we've got our controller here. This is like still all new in the wrapper. And it's a little on the small side, but the buttons feel pretty good. So we've got B and A and then turbo, B and A, select start. So not a bad controller. And it looks like, I wonder if we'll be able to hook up like Sega Genesis controller or something to use, because even though it's got two controllers pictured on the box, it looks like it actually only comes with one. So I'm going to need to find another controller. Here's the Famulator itself. Power and reset. Actually, doesn't feel too cheap. It's not super light, but it is light. But you know, these are nice, and wow, these are really spring-loaded. But it's not. The plastic isn't like super cheap either. So I gotta say, it's actually a decent-looking little console there. Then what else do we have? It looks like we've got our power cable, which that's going to be important, obviously. All right, we got cables. That's cool. And some instructions that I'm probably not going to be able to read because they're in Japanese. Oh, and it's a registration card too. That's cool. So anyways, yeah, here's the Famulator. Not a bad looking little console. It looks like a little mini Famicom. Just to give you an idea, comparison size-wise. So here's the console. Here's a Famicom game. This is Super Mario Brothers, and this just goes in there. Let's see. Oh, it fits in there nicely too. Doesn't have like a death grip on the cartridge. It just goes in there nicely. Look at that, nice. So let's test it out. I got a few games. I've got we'll test out. I've got baseball here, and I also have baseball for the NES. So we can boot them both up and see if they look the same and how the Famulator famulates. Ugh.
So here's my Super Mario Brothers Famicom cart being played through the Famulator. And I'm sure you can hear the first problem off the bat. The sound emulation is not good on the Famulator. Super Mario Brothers does not sound right. Although the colors look good and it plays great, just the sound being that off is a bummer. The controller actually works pretty good too. Let's take a closer look at that.
So this is the controller that's included with it. It only comes with one, and it's got the Famicom color scheme. But you can see it's pretty small. So, you know, just to give you an idea, Here's a standard NES controller. Well, this is an aftermarket one, but it's the same size. And compared to this one, it is a lot smaller. But here's the thing: the buttons are actually good on this. The directional pad is good. The buttons feel good, and it is, even though it's much smaller than an NES controller, it's actually fairly comfortable to play with. I played through Super Mario Brothers with this, and actually found my hand to cramp less than it does with one of these. I think part of the reason being is this just has rounder edges. This has sharper edges, and but like I said, yeah, the buttons feel great on this. So I did confirm that even though it's the same connector as the Sega Genesis, a 3-button Sega Genesis controller does not work with the Famulator. So I'm going to have to find another one of these controllers online if I want to play 2-player games. So hopefully I can do that.
Here's a look at another game on the Famulator, which is Baseball by Nintendo. Now looking at this, the colors look a little bit brighter than they're supposed to. But as you can see, it still plays pretty good. God, I suck. And since that went so quick, here's Baseball on my NES, my original Nintendo, just for comparison. Yeah, see here the colors look a little bit darker, and you can actually hear the sound is how it's supposed to sound. And apparently I suck in America and Japan.
So this thing definitely has some positives and some negatives. The biggest negative for me being is the sound emulation is not good on this. As you could see from the video, Super Mario Brothers doesn't sound right. So if you're a big sound person, this is probably not going to be for you just because of that. As far as positives go, it is cool looking. I like the style of it. It doesn't feel cheap like a lot of other clone consoles do. As small as this thing is, I mean, look, here's a Famicom cartridge, here's the console, not much bigger, but it's got some weight to it. It doesn't feel super cheap. Also, the controller is actually nice, even though it's small. It is a nice controller. Also, putting games in is easy. It's not that's it. There's not a death grip on the cartridge, which is nice too. So that's nice about it. So I'm gonna keep it. I like it. I'm definitely, like I said, kind of bummed out about the sound emulation, but I can get over that. Especially, this thing is not that expensive. You can find these things for between $20 and $30, which is cheaper than a converter costs. So I would recommend this definitely, as long as you are not a big sound snob.
Hey, thanks again for watching. Don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons, and tell your friends and tell them to subscribe, because I've got something exciting planned when I get to 100 subscribers, and I need your help to get there. Also, don't forget to check out my links to the social media junk, and also, if you got a few minutes, why don't you watch one of these other videos?
Hey guys, Eric here. This time with a review of an upside down box.